I'm excited to be here. It's kind of a personal thing to have been at this dinner and then be able to see all of your faces. Not only your faces, but also the faces of your professors who've worked so hard to get you where you are. It's a special thing. Now give yourselves a pat on the back because you did it. You did it. Woo! And just for a second, I want you guys to pretend that the lights are off, no one's around, and really give me a woo! Okay, come on, woo! That's what I'm talking about. Now pat yourselves on the back. I wasn't talking to the students, I'm talking to the parents. And the loved ones, the wives, the girlfriends, the husbands, and the professors. Have you guys heard this phrase, self-made? Self-made, I'm a self-made millionaire. I'm not, don't worry. But I'm a self-made millionaire. I was self-taught. I taught myself how to edit videos and take video. I taught myself how to learn exercise physiology. Have you guys heard that? Self-taught, self-made. Kind of drives me a little crazy. There are a lot of people in our society we think, oh, I want to be self-made. But I guarantee you that those individuals that are on TV or on the stage that are saying, I was self-made, I am a self-made millionaire, no one helped me. They're in denial because someone helped them along the way. And if you're here today about to graduate, I'm gonna get all emotional right away. Okay, sorry. If you're here today about to graduate, I want you to look at the people. And if you don't have family members here, that's okay, because you had your professors. And your professors, even though it seemed like Dr. A might have been trying to fail you, he honestly had your best interests in mind. They worked hard to make you into what you are. You should be proud. And I just want you to look at your professors, look at your loved ones. Because loved ones, parents, was there more than one time where the student graduating came home pretty grouchy after studying all night? And maybe you had a hard day too, and you were looking to get a little, like, love from your kid. Like, oh, a hug. And they were just so mean and so rude. But as parents, what do we do when that happens? We don't really say anything. We just kind of, okay, they're just having a... So look at your parents, because whether you realize it or not, or your friend, or your husband, or whoever, they put up with you. They deserve a thank you. So thank you, parents, friends, family members, and professors. Now to the graduating class of 2016, to the esteemed guests, family members, I've been given the task today to speak for 15 to 20 minutes and give you something more, something that you'll remember for more than 5 minutes. Now, I don't want you to remember my speech. I don't even need you to remember me. I just need you to remember the ideas that we're going to talk about. And if you know me, which there's only a couple people in here who know me, you know that speaking in front of an audience is very difficult for me when it's under 20 minutes. It really is. But I want us to look at this rock. Now, typically when I do seminars and stuff, I'll actually pass this around, but I didn't think it'd be a good idea because we're eating and it's a little dirty. But look at this. What do you guys see? What is it? It's a rock, right? What kind of rock is it? What features does it have? What is it? What, is it a pretty rock? Is it a diamond? Is it kind of a rough rock? It's kind of jagged, sharp edges. Jagged and sharp edges. All right, so keep that in mind, because I'm going to do an analogy at the end with this rock that will help us throughout this journey of life. If I got up here and I said, I basically recited my resume to you. Well, I have a degree, a BS, and I have an MS, and I have a publication, and I've done this and that, and I've had several jobs. What would you think of me? Just out of curiosity, you can say it, don't worry. Oh, that guy's a bit of a jerk, right? What would you think? Because a lot of times, we don't really care what people do, right? I mean, you do to a certain extent. I can't get a job as a tenured professor because I don't have my PhD, unless you guys make an exception. But what makes us memorable? What makes us who we are? Is it what we've accomplished in life? Is that what makes us who we are? Is it the degree that we're going to walk away with? Is that what makes us who we are? Let me ask you this. When you were doing your finals a couple weeks ago, you're getting ready for them, what did you think you would feel when you got that degree? Oh my gosh, I'm going to be so happy once I'm done with my finals and I've got my degree. I'm going to, that will be success for me when I'm able to. Did you think that? Or maybe like the first year of undergrad when you're studying all the stuff that you don't really care about, like political science, English and algebra, all that stuff. What did you think about when you would obtain your degree? That is success. That's success. Go back to that moment, because every one of us, whether you realize it or not, whether you admit it or not, thought that to a certain extent. In high school even. Oh, once I get my undergrad degree. Now you can say you're a BS, right? You're in the gym, someone's talking about bicep curl. Excuse me, I have my BS. Let me tell you about concentric and eccentric muscle actions. How did you think you would feel? Well, I don't know about you guys, but I thought, well, that's gonna be awesome. I've been a certified trainer for so long. It's gonna be cool to be able to say, or have that credential behind my name, but what happened once you got it? I mean, I guess you didn't actually get it yet, but what happened once you finished? Did you feel the way you felt, or you thought you would feel? Did you feel that sense of satisfaction, of joy, of accomplishment, of success? What happens once we obtain a goal? Do we bask in that goal? Are we actually happy? Are we satisfied? Are we successful? No. We look toward the next one. Boom. All right, the next one's I want to get my DPT. Then I'll be respected. Then I'll have a job. I'll make like 80K a year. Yeah. Because that is success. Or is it? This is the idea that I'd like to challenge you with. Is success an accomplishment? Is it something that happens to us? Or is it a decision? Is it when we decide and realize that we are successful because of who we are and what we can offer the world? And I'm not saying don't do schooling, don't get that job, or don't aspire, but I am saying that you will be much more satisfied, happy, if you realize this, that it's not the degree that makes you successful. It's not the $100,000 plus a year job. It's not having a wife and kids, because there will always be something more. It's who you are right now. And I'm not just talking to the students, I'm talking to everybody. It's who you are right now, what you have to offer the world. We can always sharpen our tool and refine what we have to offer. But that is success. At your funeral, what are people going to say about you? They might say, if you were very accomplished, a little bit about your career, right? Oh yeah, he had his PhD. He published 85 primary author publications. Well, maybe, but what are they really going to say? What are they going to remember? They're going to remember how they felt around us, right? They're going to remember how we inspired others, not what we accomplished. That's the main idea here. When I was in your shoes, I had it all figured out. I thought I did. I had a full ride scholarship to Nebraska, and I was going to get my master's PhD. I was excited. And I felt like finally things were settling like right where I wanted them to be. But something happened. And before I tell you what happened, I have to tell you not what I do or not what I've done, but why I do it. Has anybody read Start With Why, Leaders Eat Last? Now, why we do what we do. Why do we do what we do? Not what we do, right? Not what the company does or what we do, but why do we do it? What inspires us? Are you inspired if I tell you what I've done? But what if I tell you why I do what I do? So I'm going to tell you why I do what I do. When I was right out of high school, I got my certification to be a personal trainer. I was excited. My first client's name was Roy Worthen. He was 43 years old, a husband and father of 4. Good man. Good man. And I worked with him over the next several months, 6-8 months or so. And he had about 75 pounds to lose. And I vividly remember, there are a couple moments in your life you remember what that moment was. You can visualize it. I remember when he stepped on the scale after 6 months, and he realized for the first time that he could do more. It's almost like, boom, it sparked that belief in himself again that he had lost. He lost 50 pounds when he stepped on that scale, and he was so happy. That, honestly, it filled my soul. It really motivated me. It helped me form my mission in life, which was to impact lives through fitness in any way I can. Now, this story was powerful to me, what happened there. But what happened next was even more powerful. About a year later, I was in Spain doing missionary work, and I received a call from my father. It was a little bit out of the ordinary. When I answered the phone, he said with a trembling voice, "Hey, Rob, how you doing?" It was not himself, right? I could tell something was up. And he said, "I'm sorry to tell you, Rob, that Roy, your first client, he passed away from a massive heart attack." Just boom. He was in his office. Father of 4, husband. And it can't help but think that, what if I had done a little bit more? Could I have extended his life? I don't regret our interaction. I don't regret what happened. But I would be lying to you if I didn't say that part of me feels like if I had been more involved, I could have extended his life, because we know that fitness does what? It helps extend people's lives. It's only a correlation though, Dr. A, it's not cause and effect. Just kidding. That's why I do what I do. Now, if I bring it back to the resume, if I got up here and just told you what I did, would you be that inspired? Would it have touched you? Because everyone has experienced something of that nature. You can relate. Now, in my experiences in life, my mission of changing the world through fitness, impacting lives in some way, shape, or form through fitness has been there. And my why has been the fuel behind me. And they're going to tell you tomorrow that you're going to go out and change the world. It's at your fingertips. And it is. They might tell you there will be a couple bumps along the way, but there are a lot of bumps. A lot of bumps. What's going to get you through those bumps is having a why, and every one of us has it. I would challenge us to think about what your why is. It could be you were walking down the street, you were trying to think about what you wanted to study in high school, and a leaf fell in front of your face, and that was like divine intervention, because you knew that was because, it doesn't matter what it was, but you have a why, and that's powerful. A leaf can be powerful. You don't have to have someone passed away. When I went to grad school, I thought, I'm going to be a professor. And it wasn't until about 6 months or so that I realized, I don't really like hanging out in the basement writing papers all day. I miss being in front of people. I miss wheeling and dealing and the action and the training and the teaching. And for a little while, you know what I did? I lied to myself and everyone around me, because there were so many people who looked up to me, my younger brothers, my family. And so it took me a while, several months, to finally realize, and I had to do an exercise with myself, which was, imagine if everyone I knew in this world just became different people, and I had no one to impress. The world was the same, but if I had no one to impress, no one to let down, what would I do? This goes with what Laura was saying about doing your passion and not other people's passion, because for a little while, I was doing the passion of my professor, or what I thought I wanted to do. But ultimately, it's tough to live a lie. So I called it. I met with my professor. It was supposed to be a master's PhD 5-year program. And I told him about 8-9 months into it that I was going to do the master's. I was going to finish the master's degree, and then I was going to move back to beautiful, wonderful San Diego. Now, the moral of that story, the gem here, is that we may have our destination planned out, right? I had it, if you talked to me at this dinner, I'd have been like, yep, going to Nebraska. I'm not even paying for it, right? But sometimes, you know, when you're doing the GPS, the Google Maps, that beautiful function that's, if you're in traffic, it says, this route is 5 minutes less, this route is 10 minutes less, or this route is 2 minutes more. Sometimes we have a destination. My destination is my mission. And the path that we're taking may not be the path. But you know what? There are other ways to reach it. That's why it's important to go into this with a mission and not with, I'm going to do this for my career. What is your mission? So after grad school, I thought, wow, I've got to get back into business. My partner and I, my lab partner, we developed the world's first protein gummy. It was sugar-free and it tasted delicious. It was like those little kid snacks. You got 21 grams. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. We designed the formula. We found a manufacturer. We made a team. Oh man, we were going to be billionaires. We really were. That was my next path. But this time I didn't have the option of 5 minutes more, 5 minutes less. There was a roadblock, like no option. Well, we got screwed over. We had to fold or close the doors, close up shop. So I had to keep going. But what did I have in sight? What was in sight the whole time? My mission. The path may change. Do you see why that's important? All these hiccups, all these roadblocks, all these bumps in the road, but I still had the mission and I still had my why to fuel me and go forward. I came back, got a job at 24 Hour Fitness, did that for about a year, and then I missed business so much, so I got back into business. The last thing that I'd like to share with you is that when I started my business, I came to a crossroads where not much was happening. And I asked one of my many mentors what I could do, what they did to get their business going. And they said, well, in the beginning, I just looked for how much value I can add. Like, how can I help people without the thought of recompense? And growing up, I've always believed in this saying that is, receive without forgetting and give without remembering. I was at a conference for fitness, and I was walking around, and I saw this booth with this fitness device, and I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. I like that. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna help you guys. I totally revamped their sales plan. I made a marketing plan to get people there. The whole time there were people in front of the booth, crowd of people in front of the booth. That was the give. See how much value you can add. And what ended up happening was about a week later, he called me from Ohio and he said, you know what, Rob, we want you on our team. So my road changed again, but with every single path, changing lives through fitness has been a constant. And that's my current path. Hey, maybe I'll take another path, right? Who knows? But there are a couple things that you can take from that. Not how cool the experience was, but how there was always a constant. To finish, I'd like to bring us back to this rock. So what did we see in this rock? It's jagged, right? Jagged, sharp edges. Is it very pretty? It's not super pretty, right? But you know what's funny? When I pass it around, there's always someone that says, oh, but I see a little sparkle. There's a little sparkle in there. It's true, there is a little sparkle, but it's dirty. What I'd like to do is make this rock analogous to how we start life. We start life a little bit jagged, but we have some sparkles within us. Now, do you know what happens to a rock when it goes into a raging river? It gets smashed, right? Boom, pummeled. The whole time, thousands of years, it gets smashed and against other rocks and goes down cliffs and waterfalls. What happens? Every single time it gets smashed, there's a little part of this rock that falls off, right? Those smashes, do they hurt? Heck yeah. Those speed bumps when people steal from you or they try and take advantage of you, they hurt. But the cool thing is that if we have the end in mind, that those smashes end up producing beautiful, smooth rocks, then it's a little easier to take those hits, isn't it? It's a little easier to take. So I leave you with that, and I challenge you to find your why, to find your strength. Your strength. What are you good at? What do you do that time stops? You know what my problem is it's when I'm speaking, so I always go over. But it's true. What do you do that makes time just stop? And you can find a way to weave that in to your career with an end goal in mind. And rather than looking at the world, the workforce, as competition, whoa, there's a guy with a resume, he's got his master's degree, and I'm applying for this, holy moly, right? Look at it as, how can I add value? How can I do what it takes, use my strengths, my why, my mission, to best help this company, to best help this person? Because that's where success comes. Thank you.